Now, panel, let's meet our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Luckett.
What is your name, please?
My name is Luckett.
What is your name, please?
My name is Luckett.
Again, will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit? I, Luckett, live and work in Alaska. I am a helicopter pilot. Last month, I participated in the now famous rescue of a group of injured mountain climbers from the 18,000-foot level of Mount McKinley. To enable my helicopter to reach that altitude, I took on only 12 gallons of gas and removed the battery, the radio, and even one door from my ship. I flew with a tube from an oxygen tank in my mouth. The 6 landings and takeoffs I made on the mountain were the highest ever made by man in any type of aircraft. Signed, Luckett. And here we have, as you heard and have judged for yourselves, 3 stalwart gentlemen, each one claiming to be Luckett, helicopter hero pilots. And we start this round of questioning with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Well, first of all, we have a lot of very courageous and wonderful people on the show tonight. This was a fantastic feat that you did, Mr. Luckett. Number one, what were you wearing for this? I see that you had one door off, and it was at 18,000 feet. So what kind of clothing did you have on?
Great deal of clothing. Parkas, sweaters, boots, and heavy breeches.
Number two, who was rescued first?
John Day, the leader of the party, was taken off first.
Number 3, do you agree with that?
Yes, John Day was taken off first.
Number...
Tom Postner.
I'm puzzling here. Let's see, I think I'll start with number 2. Could you tell us what is anoxia?
Anoxia? It's sickness from lack of oxygen.
Thank you. Number 1, what is an early sign of anoxia?
Incoherence.
And what form does this behavior take? What does it resemble?
Loss of balance, inability to speak very distinctly.
Thank you. Number 3, how is a helicopter blade made?
How is it made?
Yes.
Well, it's made similar to the blade of a regular airplane in that it has vertical pitch or can be turned in any direction.
But,
Number 1, you found a very difficult spot to land, and probably one of the only spots in which you could have landed on Mount McKinley. Who gave you this information?
Well, I've been flying this territory for a number of years. I knew the area. It's a conventional route for mountain climbers.
Number 2, was there no information given from the outside as to where to land this helicopter originally?
Nobody could have given that information until the pilot had seen it
You
himself.
agree with this, number 3?
Absolutely.
Number 1, can you tell me how far apart the parties were?
2 parties about 4,000 feet.
From each other?
That's right.
Number 2, did you rescue both parties?
Negative. Only one party was endangered.
Number 2, how high up were you before you started to use oxygen?
I actually used oxygen from the 10,200-foot level on up. That was the base camp.
Number 3, how many kinds of helicopters are there?
Well, there are several different makers, if that's what you mean.
That's what I'm talking about, makers. About how many?
Oh, gosh, there are half a dozen. There's Hiller, the type I fly.
Number 1, why do some helicopters use 2 blades and others 1?
Well, the single-bladed helicopter is a counter-rotational operating machine. The other one actually does use 2 blades, both the vertical and a horizontal rotor.
Guess that's all the time we have, as interesting as it is. I'd like to find out more myself. I can make up my mind. So it's time for you, without consultation, to vote once more and mark your ballots. Voting for number 1, number 2, or number 3.
gosh, I can't decide. I'll just do what I thought first.
Okay, everyone voted? Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 1, Bud. I don't think I should have, but that's just touting yourself off. I thought I should have at one time. I thought his answers were really very, very good. They were concise and full, but maybe too full. Does that sound ridiculous?
No, not at all.
That's how I felt at the end.
Kitty, which one do you think is
Well,
the real
that's
one?
exactly the way I felt, Tom. I felt that his answers were brilliant. They were all marvelous. But I just thought that number 2 was perhaps the real one, and because number 1's answers were a bit too full, although he certainly looks like a fellow who would make a dangerous rescue like that.
Don, you're valid.
I voted for number 1, and I would like to say that I think this exhibition here is an absolute tribute to Willie Stein, who coaches the Liars on this show.
Credit to Willie Stein. Wow.
How can anyone tell who's who here?
Imagine being listed as a liar coach. It's a new type of distinction. Polly, your vote.
Well, to prove how good they were, I had to resort to my old way of guessing. I voted for number 3 because of the way he pronounced his name.
Your nurse had nothing to do with this one?
No, I admit she tips me off once in a while, but he was the only one that said Link Luckett. All the others said Link Luckett.
All right, let's find out which one of these links is the real Luckett as we discover which one is the real hero helicopter pilot, and hero indeed he is. So will the real Link Luckett please stand up? We thank you, sir, and we certainly heartily congratulate you on your feat. It was a wonderful thing you did. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please? You got the most votes.
My name is Charles Herman. I'm a vice president of Wilmar International Corporation, importers.
Thank you, sir. I think it's only fair to see whether you have as much hair as number 2, do you? Oh, you're much better. And number 3, what about you, sir? Your real name and what you do?
My name is Bob Marcato, and I'm a radio and television announcer.
Thank you, sir. Well, we checked things over here, and we find there were 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes this time at $250 each for a grand total of $750 from Camel Cigarettes and a carton of those fine Camels on your way out. Thanks so much, gentlemen. Hope you had fun. We did. Good night and good luck to you. Now something short and sweet from our alternate sponsor, Helene Curtis.
Stay tuned.
I'm afraid that's all the time we had. We all had fun, panel, so good night.
Good night.
Good night, Bud.
Bud Carter saying good night from Camel Cigarettes and reminding all of you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To tell the truth, the Mark Goodson Bill Company, in association with the CBS Television Network. To tell the truth is brought to you.
Hi, I'm Mark Summers, host of Game Show Network's Win Tuition, the show that